Good day, everyone. This is Techbuild Africa, and we are hosting Tech Rounds right away. We're very sorry for the glitches we've had so far. The network has not been so friendly, but of course, we are up and running. And of course, I would not be doing this alone. I have wonderful persons with me here in our digital studio. Of course, you've seen from the flyers everywhere the person we have that we will be hosting, Matthew Mayaki, co-founder of Reliance Health, of course. And then I will not be anchoring the session alone. I will be having Irene Aguh with me to co-host this interactive session. So before I even go ahead to do any other thing, I would just want to say we still expect Irene to join us along. The network has been a lot glitchy. So hi Matthew, how are you doing today?
Good. Can you
Hello,
hear me?
Mr. Matthew. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. So I'm asking, how are you doing today? I hope you prep for the session. How are you doing today?
You seem very excited. So am I. I'm actually very excited about this too.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, of course, I'm very excited to have you, and of course, to have people watch you share your experience and your story. I mean, it's something that everyone looks up to. People like you, people look up to you to get some motivation and how to go about the ecosystem and the industry generally. So I'm still expecting my co-host Irene to join us. So before then, I think we'll just go ahead. So Tech Round is a brief live session that we host some of the most insightful minds in the ecosystem to have a chit chat, to talk about technology, to talk about their products, to talk about what they are up to, and to talk about also tell their story. So it's pretty much also an avenue for startups to share their story and what they're doing in the ecosystem. So we Africa is fast evolving when it comes to technology, and we are looking for every means possible to make sure that people their story is out there. We are the voice. We are bold media that is putting out this the voice for innovation and change in Africa. So I will just go ahead with the first question for you, Matthew. Are we good to go? Are you ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you very much. So, for a start, so tell us a little about yourself. Who is Matthew and what does he do?
Okay. So professionally, experts. I typically just like to describe myself as a problem solver. Ideally, I'm one of the co-founders and the senior vice president at Reliance Health. We're using technology to make healthcare affordable and accessible to to the. So in terms of what I do in my day to day, I lead a team of product managers and designers, talented product managers and designers, work together with the company to achieve its goals. So basically, for everybody who is using like using Reliance Health, and they pick up their app and they're talking to the doctor and they what the product team is building day to day. The hospital using the system and get paid in less than 48 hours. Yeah, that's part of the engineering team. So it's but basically that's a quick summary of what I do officially. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. I could pick one point from what you've said, the lot of things you've said, that you are a problem solver. I think that explains everything about you because we have a lot of problems to solve in our ecosystem. So we need people that are going to solve problems. We need people that have solutions to the difficulties we have. We need people that are actually going to help us pull through the lot of struggles we are facing in Africa and globally. So I really admire the fact that you introduced yourself as a problem solver. And I believe our audience would find that so awesome. All right. So while we were speaking, our co-host, the wonderful and cheerful Irene, just got into the studio. Irene, you're welcome to the session. I hope you're prepped.
I am.
Welcome, Irene. It's good
I
to
am. I
have you.
just
All right, all right, all right. So moving ahead, let's go ahead. So how did you get into the current field of work? So you've told us that you had a group of persons, you were innovating in the health sector, you were trying to solve problems that we have in the health sector. Hence the reason why you came about with the you co-founded the Reliance Health platform. So I believe this is something that has helped a lot of workers in the industry. So I would love to know, how did you get into the current field of work, and how confident were you that it was the right choice for you, Mr. Matthew?
I don't think anybody is confident at the very beginning of their career. Maybe some people are. I envy those guys. I wasn't. Um, I studied computer science engineering in school, so I started software. I started programming in school. Anyways, yeah. It was while I was in school that the idea for Reliance Health came up. Spoke to Femi, Kuti, and Opeyemi, my other co-founders, to discuss the idea and to help them to start building it. So I mean, pretty much everybody at that time wanted to every software engineer at the time wanted to work in Google or Facebook or something. I think that dream still stands. A lot of people still want to do that, yes. Very few people would say that they were willing to take the risk and start something that you don't know what the future is going to be like. So yes, it was a risk, but I mean, considering the problem that we're looking to solve, the goal that we're looking to achieve was something that we're very passionate about. Yes, Femi is a doctor, so we could very much relate to what he was going through at the time, and that was majorly the driving factor. So yeah, it was a risk worth taking, and I like to say I made the right choice.
That's great. That's great to know. I mean, it was a great choice at the end of it. So at first you're like, nobody's ever confident starting over. I mean, people a lot with cold feet, but along the way you discover that, yeah, you actually made the right decision. So I'm really impressed for the fact that even when you weren't sure at the beginning phase, but you were also heading at the right direction. So thank you very much, Mr. Matthew. So I think you got off to the right start, and you were doing greatly. So anyone who is out there seeing you and saying that Matthew isn't doing great, I doubt. I would have to question such person. So Irene, do you have something? Over to you, Irene.
Hi, Matthew.
Hi, Irene.
Yeah. So I think one thing I want to know is we've had conversations before. I've sort of followed your career journey, I think, for a couple of years now. For me, it seems like you're really passionate about product, you're passionate about design and technology, right? So I'd really like to know, how is it being a part of the founding team at Reliant Health? And how would you say the skills that you built, like the course that you studied?
Okay. Okay. I mean, that's a very good question, actually. So, what's it like being a part of the founding members of Reliance Health? It's been exciting, challenging, and I think maybe I'll just summarize it as adventurous. Yes, because I mean, the company has grown tremendously within the past 5 years that it's been Reliance, and a couple of years before it became Reliance, when we actually started the whole thing. Yes, we've probably seen way more that we should have seen within that short time frame. Yes, like we've gone from being zero in the Nigerian market to being one of the top five health insurance providers in Nigeria. This is in the space of like 7 years. Something that some people have taken like 20 years they
Wow.
want to do. It's and this is not me bragging actually. This is what it is, yes. So it's I mean being part of the founding team, I think one of the one of the key things that you need to get right if you're starting a company is the founders. Yes. So every founder needs to know their role and what they play, the part that they have to play in the company. Yes. So I mean, in our case, it was like Femi, who's the medical lead, and Okwe, who's the operations guy. He had control of the numbers and everything, and I was coming in from the tech point of view. Yes. So each person had their responsibilities, knew what they were doing, and it just seemed to work. And yeah, so but I mean that was basically how it started. And then for me it basically expanded from just like just engineering to product to design, I like to refer to product design engineering as the three musketeers because they work hand in hand in problem solving. It's rarely that one exists without the other in one way or the other. They each have to work together. So but when you see the impact of the work that we're doing, it's basically what makes you keep going. Yeah, when you see how much you've done and then the growth that's actually happening, it keeps you going. So to answer your question, it's been great. I think that's how I would summarize it. I went a bit of tangent there, but I'll just say it's been great. The journey so far has been great, yeah. And in terms of my skills, people would say, I mean, I studied computer science and engineering, but it helped to build me as a software engineer. And basically, that's what my career has been like. So I'll say it played a good part in what I am today as well. Big ups to Obafemi Awolowo University.
So it's interesting that you mention that every founder has a role to play, because I think that if you look at a lot of startup conversations, you look at a lot of founder conversations, it's always, if you're about to start a business, you have to be ready to go into bed with the right people, right? With the people that you have selected. You have to make sure they're the right people. But then you also have to figure out what each person has to bring to the table, right? And I think it's true not just for founders, but investors. So thank you for mentioning that. I believe Emmanuel has a question for you.
All right. Thank you very much. I mean, it's been very much interactive so far. Like, I got to know a lot of things about you, Matthew, I never knew before. And I'm sure people out there would be exploring some experience. So, all right. So let's move ahead. So, speaking of Reliance Health, okay. So, for listeners, people want to know, what does Reliance Health do, and how did you differentiate yourself from pre-existing health insurance brands out there? And I'm taking a look at your footprints. You raised $40 million just, I think, 2020 or 2021, and that was massive for a startup that year. I think that was the highest. So tell us about Reliance Health. What are you guys doing? Tell us about Reliance Health.
Okay, so I mean, Reliance Health is a health tech company, yeah, creating a seamless online and offline process for delivering quick and reliable. In terms of the customers, that's pretty much everybody. That's you, that's me. It's quality healthcare, delightful, affordable, and accessible. Nigeria, for example, using technology, and we do this right now. We offer health insurance policies or plans to individuals. Um, Basically, you guys can visit the hospital. Any of our customers can visit the hospital at the bills. Obviously, terms and conditions apply. So, but that's pretty much the gist of it. Yes, is to make sure that every single person in Nigeria, I mean, as much as possible, can actually have is broken in Nigeria. Nobody has to remind anybody about that. Yes. For example, out-of-pocket payment, people still pay out of pocket for their medical expenses. And we know the way it works. You have to go to the hospital and the kind of bill you have to incur. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the experience that everybody can relate with. Yes. Insurance as a luxury, but it's really not. It's actually a necessity because you can never tell. Yeah. Things that we try to solve,
Definitely.
and help us one way. We have a telemedicine product that is on the app. So if you're a customer of Reliance Health, you get an app, a mobile application, hospital to talk to a doctor. So right from your mobile phone, you can actually have a consultation,
That's great.
prescriptions, and have them delivered to your house. So, and this is like all. That's you. That's us saving you that 4 or 5 hours you would have gone to your hospital to stand and queue there to talk to a doctor as well. Spread across Nigeria. We have one in mainland and one where at very affordable rates. So even if you're not on our insurance policies, which I don't know why you're not, of our clinics, the healthcare there, and then obviously afterwards, why that you obviously get convinced and you sign up for your plan as well too. Yeah, so that's like a quick summary from other health insurance companies. Yeah, like I said, it's major. So we don't see ourselves as a typical health insurance company. We're a healthcare company, meaning that we don't believe in manual processes. We don't believe in making things complicated. We believe in making things
Simplified.
and we believe in making sure. Yeah, I mean, like keep it as simple as possible. Nobody really likes. So the idea is to try to make life like simple and easy. So we try to do this as much as we can. And then we look at, we get a lot of feedback from our users and then try to use that to work for ourselves or didn't work for the people that are buying that are using our policy. So listening to users comes in necessary. This is and I think that's what differentiates us from the rest of the company, from other health in Nigeria right now. So it's just really because of how simple we keep things and how much we listen to our users.
Yeah, that's great listening to that. So I would have been wondering if you were, I wouldn't doubt because just few days back I was actually a consumer of your tech health tech platform. So I
Nice.
think it was seamless. So I think this is me giving my own testimonial. It was seamless, like end to end. I mean, it's wonderful that you can just use technology to administer medical welfare to people at a limited cost. I think it's something we need for every person. So I believe every work environment should have something that augments for that caters for the health of its workers. So I give a kudos to you, Matthew. I mean,
Thank you.
that's a wonderful a platform there. So yeah, and if I may chip this in, okay, so you raised $40 million. Then that was 2020. How did you feel? Like I think it would have been a kind of a booster for the growth of Reliance Health at that time.
We raised $40 million for our Series B. Is in Africa at the time. I mean, till now, I guess, for a health tech company. And the
Yeah,
goal was that money was basically to take the work that we're doing here in Nigeria and spread it to other emerging markets. That was the whole goal of the raise. Yes. I mean, it's wanting to. I mean, we are still trying to here in Nigeria is a work in progress, but other markets as well, other emerging markets as well. So the idea, I mean, we recently just launched in Egypt. You know, that's part of the reasons why we had to do that raise. We recently just launched in Egypt, where they have a very the idea is to span to like 2-3 other countries by the end of 2023. Yeah, so I mean the goal is to try to solve in different places as much as we can.
that's great, and I believe that's going to happen. That's really going to happen. So okay, let's shift from uh the health reliance now. All right, let's look at you. So we know that product management has the field has become very popular in recent years. So what role
Yeah.
do product managers have to play in technology companies?
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, very often they are referred to as mini CEOs. I mean, I know product managers actually don't like hearing that, but very mini CEOs, yeah. The whole idea
Yeah,
is and they are pivotal to the success of and the success and the failure actually to of a lot of now the whole idea is management is basically taking the problems that your customers are facing
yeah,
and putting all that together and coming up with a solution that both sides that addresses both areas. So
Yeah.
driven by the needs of the users. Now you take all of that and you put it to like a to actually bring that to life. That's like a very simple of defining what a product manager does, yes. And the reason why it's very necessary, for example, and you are not sure of the market that you're operating in, or there is no way you can succeed. And it's safe to say could be doing that job, but if you don't have anybody focused on addressing the issues that and the problem users are facing, then why are you even in a business? Yeah, that's the business for your users, and why. For product management, part of the reason why it's been, part of the reason why I would argue that it's been very a lot of people are looking to transition into tech space.
Yeah.
There's room for everybody in the tech space. Yes. Whatever, doesn't matter what skills you have in the tech space. Oh, it seems I'll mute that for a bit. So, product, I won't say it's for everybody, but I'll say that everybody can taste it and decide. It's not an easy job. Like people like to tell you, oh, product management in 12 days or in 7 days.
Yeah. I see that a lot actually.
No, it's not. So it's because a lot of like stakeholder management, a lot of working with engineers, how stressful that can be. A lot of trying to. It's not something that I would say it's not something that everybody can do, because it requires a lot of critical thinking, system,
And creativity. Right.
yeah, it comes in perfectly fine. Yeah. So and then product is wide. It's not just product management. There's different aspects of it as well too. And the idea is to make everything work together. I think Irene is trying to drop a message. Did you see that?
Okay.
Like I said, the reason why it's been popular here is basically because of the barrier to entry is not so high. You just really need to know how to do one thing, which is how to solve problems. And it sounds easy, but that's probably the most difficult to do, because if you can conquer that. So and yeah, it's the phrase product management just becoming way more popular now, because a lot of people actually it's coming into like a whole lot more, and people are seeing the real need. It's been there since for a while now. Okay, we have Irene back.
All right. Yeah. The network has been pretty much against Irene. Irene, you're welcome back to the studio.
Thank you. I
Hi,
heard
Irene.
what
You're welcome.
Hi, Matthew. Hi, everyone again. I heard what Matthew said. I think, like, quick question: what advice would you give to people that are actually interested in joining, like, product management or product design?
As much as I would love to say don't do it for the money, I know people will not listen to me. Yes. But to be honest, yes, if that's your motivating factor, people who just like, oh, I want to get into tech, product management is easy, let me jump on it. And when you like a strong factor that is not a motivating factor that will actually on ground. Yes, there needs to be a passion for it. There needs to be my advice would be for, I think was a question specific in general. Let me know how to.
You can take it either way. You can go specific, you can go general. Which are you more comfortable with?
Okay, so for product management, yes, there are some key skills that I would say that you need is first of all just like how curious are you? How often do you ask yourself why or how? If you are basically haunted by those two questions, then you say yes, you're definitely on the right track because that's a question. Those are questions that you would always have to ask as a product manager. On that way, that curiosity is very necessary. And then the next part of that curiosity is the analytical thinking part, where yeah, I mean, which is pretty much how things work. You need to be able to find the real problem behind, not the surface, not surface thinking, being able to what exactly is driving this thing. So these are like two key skills that I would say are very necessary to solving any problem or to driving you as a product manager. Yes. And there's also the people management, stakeholder management. Yes, that's also very necessary. So you need to be able to have a low threshold for anger. Don't let people get to you a whole lot because you meet different kinds of people. You're working across the board. The product manager is pretty much in the middle of business leads, engineers, engineering leads, and also other product leads as well too. You're sitting in the middle, communicating with each of these guys, collaborating with them as well too. So you would have a lot of meetings and you need to manage these guys a whole lot. So that's definitely something that you need to have as well. And then the last thing I would want to mention is storytelling, because as a product manager, you would very much be responsible for selling, not necessarily selling like going to markets, but communicating what your product does. In order to do that properly, you need to have great storytelling skills. It's not just I have a product and it does this. People need to understand why your product is necessary, how your product is going to impact them, and why your product is better than anything else out there. So, I mean, I think I'm saying all this just to make people realize that product management is not just that get rich quick scheme that it may be looking like now. It's a lot of work. So my advice would be ready for the work before you say you want to go there. That's my advice for product manager. And then my advice for people trying to get in tech in general is it's not just product management that's there. Pretty much whatever skill you had before, I'm pretty sure there's a tech company out there who needs that skill without you having to be a product manager, or there's a tech variation of whatever skill you had before. So maybe you're a front desk person somewhere else before. There are customer success people in tech companies who need that skill. So you don't have to go and learn product management to do that. You could actually just apply for a customer success role in a tech company and you're fine. If you were, for example, in an agency and you were in charge of like copywriting and stuff, there's UX writers, there's actually copywriters in tech industries as well too. So you don't necessarily have to change whatever skill you have and say you want to either be a product manager or a software engineer, a product designer just to get into tech. Tech companies require a bunch of other skills too, apart from those guys, apart from product managers or software engineers. There are a bunch of other roles too that are needed in the tech space. So, I mean, just look for job openings and apply. That would be my advice.
Thank you. That was super helpful. I always try to say that, but it's great to hear other people saying it. Emmanuel, over to you.
Okay, so I'll just put up this hook. You said something about not going in for the money. So I know a lot of our audience be like, wow, why shouldn't I go for the money in this nation, in where everything is like expensive, cost of living is high? Why shouldn't I be motivated by money? But I think it's actually fair enough that you put that out, because if you want to sustain relevance for a long time, then you really have to chase value ahead of money. I believe that's what you're trying to let us
Yeah.
know. So please, if you're trying to if you're transitioning into tech, any skill, is it coding or non-coding, or you're writing for technical writing, UI UX, I mean, it's something that you need to invest your time into and try to like build capacity, so it doesn't just happen like a big bang. So you really have to like keep your heads down and get it working. So I know people would be having questions, but network has been kind of glitchy though. So if you have questions for Mr. Matthew, you could drop it. Okay, you could drop your question on the comment section. For those watching on YouTube, feel free to drop your questions. Matthew is here. Okay, before he leaves the studio. Then if you're watching on LinkedIn, okay, it's Techbuild Africa. everywhere. So drop your question if you have any question. I know you're enjoying the session. So I mean, this is something that people pay money for to catch this kind of value, but it's going out here for free. All right. So back to you, Mr. Matthew. Before we wrap this up, okay? I know we missed Irene along the way when we talked about. I'm just trying to recap on Reliance Health. Okay, so we're trying to say we have some other health brands that are okay. Let me ask you: are there other health brands that are doing similar, and how are you standing out you from them? Okay, because I know when you were funded, okay, at that time it was, I think it was the first time a health tech would come up with such amount of funds, and I believe that that would have been a kind of an intimidating factor for any of your competitor at that time. So tell us how you were standing out uniquely from other people that seem to be having the well, I say a similar solution to what you're doing in the ecosystem.
Okay. So I mean, majorly, yes. The way a lot of things work is, if you have a lot of people, the health insurance space is not new in Nigeria. For example, I will speak primarily for the Nigerian market because that's where we
Okay.
will have our people and a lot of our competition is. So, but we're a global company, but focus is in Nigeria at first, and we're spreading out after that. So, health insurance is not new in Nigeria, yes. But I would say that it has been done in the same rudimentary way for a large number of years. People got really comfortable with the way things were going on, and everybody just got used to it. It wasn't working well, but we were all fine with it. Now, that basically creates room to be different and do it differently, and actually just like disrupt the market. Yes. So what we primarily did is come in um, with technology as our major
Yeah.
secret sauce to say yes. I mean, this is not to say that some other guys didn't have some form of technology out there, but it's not just technology, it's also how you use it. This is how you go about doing it. Yeah. So the approach of running the business and the how we run the business and how we do things is what differentiates us from other guys. Like I said, part of the things that we do is putting our users first. So it means that with every single step that we take, we are thinking, what do our people want? We're asking them, we're getting direct feedback from the people that are going to use our policies in the long run, getting that feedback and using that to drive the business. Because again, they are the ones that are building these things for. And then, I mean, that, as simple as it sounds, is what will differentiate you from every other business out there who's just doing this thing because they have the resources to do it and the market was available for them. So I would say that our technology and our focus on our users is really what differentiates us, yes. And then obviously how we go about doing our own things is different, is way different as well too. So that's what differentiates us from other competition out there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for stating that clearly. I think I'm justified, okay, because you've used technology to touch the lives of people, especially people who are in the working class. So I would give that to you once again, Mr. Matthew. Please keep on building more innovation. So I believe that you're going to expand, okay, further. And before we go, I just wanted to do something fun, okay? While I was still waiting to see if we have any questions. So it's game time. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, that's
So I'm just gonna throw on you some strings of questions for you to make a choice. Okay, we'll just do that quick. And you don't trust me. You don't have to think much about it. Just go ahead and throw up the answer. Are you ready?
yeah, sure. Hit me.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. French fries or dodo?
Okay. Uh, so I never finished my fries, so yeah, I'll say plantain.
So you're going for French fries?
No, plantain, dodo, naturally.
Okay.
Right.
Typical African man. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So skydiving or snorkeling?
Skydiving. Yeah.
Oh, you
I'm a
take
dog guy.
risk.
So yeah.
And
I
that
love
that
that.
confirms the fact that you're an entrepreneur. You take a lot of risk. So I
Yeah.
said that. All right. Working from home or work from the office?
Hey, this is a no-brainer. I don't know why people like to work from the office, but yeah, work from home anytime, any day. It's like anytime, any day.
All right. Actually, remote work is actually taking over. Okay, so many Gen Zs and everybody's like, I want to work from home. Any work, I want to work from home. So I think I stand with you on that. All right. Instagram famous or Loki?
Loki. I don't like attention, so yeah, just Loki.
Why?
I
Why?
don't like attention. I don't like a lot of people
Do
when
you want
they.
to tell me why? Do you want to? Do you have reasons, or you want to keep it low key too?
I think it's sort of my just like who I am naturally. I don't like being the center of focus.
Okay.
I'd rather be that person who is running things from the shadows. I think I'd rather be that
Mm,
person than
the
who,
backroom guy, the back
yeah,
end.
that mastermind in the shadows who's controlling everything. That I think that's the kind of person I'd rather be.
I mean, that's great. I have no right to question you. That's super great. Okay, so products or tech?
Okay. I mean, at this point, this is like, do I have to choose? I have to choose. They work hand in hand a lot of times. Yeah.
Especially what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, so they work hand in hand. I don't know. This is tough. I don't think I can't betray one. I have to go with both. I have to go with.
But you have to choose. You have to choose. So it's just like saying between the devil and the Red Sea. So you have to choose.
Okay. So if I have to choose between product and tech, or product and engineering to be precise, I would go with products. I would go with products.
Okay, the product man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So maybe I'll just allow you to go to merge two of them, okay, and have your product
Thank
tech.
you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I only do that because I know that Reliance Health is maximizing technology to push their product and the solutions they're creating for people. So I mean that was super. I think I love your choices all through. I love your choices. So I mean that points the choices you made are something I really resonate to because you were very reserved. That I knew you were not going to be that the Instagram famous person, but that's okay. Not everybody has to be famous. But I mean, it's really going to be a little bit dicey for you as a co-founder who is out there. Your name is on the internet, so I know you'll be finding it like difficult to kind of hide because at some point you'll be fished out. Okay. All right, thank you very much. So I was still looking up for questions from our audience. Okay, it's been a very interactive session. So I think okay, let me just read some social comments here. Okay, someone is here. Tech build to the world. Yeah, tech build to the world. We are the board media, so we are giving a voice to every innovation in Africa and of course across Africa. Yeah, thank you very much, Drama Empire. And we have another one here. Says tech risk can succeed. Of course, thank you very much. Irene has been off because of the network, so we lost Irene. We hope to see your pretty face again. And then we have here, remember, hi Matthew Mayaki, great session so far. So, what was the muse behind your latest development? I didn't quite get it if you mentioned it. So, okay, so he's trying to ask what was the muse behind the latest development. So I don't know the development, or probably it's I think he's trying to get a grips of the idea, what motivated maybe the founding of Health Reliance. I believe that's the angle of the question. So I don't. Can you take that, Mr. Matthew?
If it's asking about why Reliance Health exists as a company, or how it became a company, um, I mean, it's an interesting question actually. Then, so it started out as a telemedicine company actually. Can't that's KNGPE. That's actually how we started. This was like way back, like 2015. And the whole idea with that was to resolve the problem of having people go to the hospital and stay in long queues. Basically, telemedicine. That was the whole idea of the problem of the stuff at the time. But over time, what we saw, and it picked really quick. It had a lot of users, had a lot of doctors sign up on the platform. But then what the problem we had was that people would have a consultation and they would need to go to the hospital, but they could not afford to do
Yeah.
so. But the problem would be, oh, I have to go to the hospital and stay in long queues there. So we were only solving just like one part of the problem. Yes. So the other way we could solve that was to take the next step and actually help people cover their bills at the hospital as well too, which is where health insurance came into play. Um, and then with that, there's also one other problem again. So for health insurance, we have to work with existing hospitals across Nigeria and other markets to provide healthcare while we pay for the bills. But then there's really a limit to how much you can control the quality of healthcare you provide. So even though we have the telemedicine feature that you can just talk to a doctor remotely, in that case we use our own doctor, so we're in control of the quality there. But you have to go to a hospital. We're working with third-party hospitals where we can't control the quality. So another problem. So we took one other step to create our own clinics too, where we are now 100% in control. So the idea is to now provide end-to-end healthcare for our users where we can guarantee the quality across board. So I mean, with each, like I said, with each step that we've taken, the idea was how do we make life easier or better for the people that we're working, that are building these things for. So I say that was the that has always been the motivating factor and still is to date.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Thank you very much. So I believe Drumnia Empire, if you're still listening, that I think that clearly answers that question. And the other ones was just a heads up for you. So take risk and succeed. I think that would be my drive for the week. I don't know. I would also throw that open for everyone watching. So take risk and succeed. I think that's the moral booster. I'm going to take that one. So so far so good. It was amazing to have you, Mr. Matthew, on the tech rounds session on Block Build Africa. So our audience, so we're going to be having similar kind of sessions here and now. So it's going to be very explosive and interactive. So it's a platform we want you to really learn and get exposed to experiences from founders and startups and people who are innovating in the ecosystem. So if you're not following Tech Build Africa on every platform, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and of course, click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and make sure that you stay up to date with what we are doing. We're delivering great value. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, I was here with Matthew. My name is Emmanuel Amogu from Techbuild Africa, and we had Irene. And I mean, it's sometimes tech just has it takes on you. I would have put that like a pun. So when tech takes on you, sometimes you have to just give up. So Irene, we miss you. Would have wanted your face to be here to say the goodbye, but I'm going to say the goodbye on behalf of Irene. So from Irene to everyone watching, thank you very much for joining. For Mr. Matthew, any final words before I draw the curtain?
Um, Take risk and succeed.
I totally go with that. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, the maxim for the week is take risk and succeed. And I'm very sure. Yeah, someone is here. He says, "Thank you, Mr. Mayaki." All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm very sure that if you're watching this, this is super, and you must.
Wow.
And whatever you want to just learn it and come out as the best. So thank you everyone for watching and have a very, very lovely day. Thank you very much, Matthew.
Thank you
All right.
for having me here.
We got a skedaddle. Thank you. Adios. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.